Hey guys, Crystal Grace here and welcome to this Picker Crystal reading, which is all about what's the gossip on you, what are people thinking about you this week. I'm pretty sure you guys are really infatuated with this topic at this point in time, so some of you actually lose a bit of sleep about this topic sometimes. So I'm going to try and get a video out once a week, and this is to help you feel more confident in yourselves, because I personally don't think you should give a flying F about what people think. However, it can be really hard. When I know in my 20s I was like I super cared my whole life until you get to about your 30s. That's when you really start not giving two fucks. Shouldn't swear, but it is what it is. About what people think. So, if you are still a while away from your 30s, and now I'm heading into my 40s, well, I've got 2 years up my sleeve before then, but I can say it definitely gets easier. So that's why I thought we'll do this topic weekly. We'll see how we go. I shouldn't commit to things that I really can't commit to, because, life happens and people try and send me evil eye and all this weird shit, and it works for a little minute, and then return to sender comes into play and blah blah blah. Anyway, I am babbling and we're just going to move right into this reading. So we have first pile with the green agate. Okay, the second pile is the blue sodalite crystal. The third pile is the pink agate. I love this, it's like one of my favorites. And then the aventurine crystal. Yay, it's probably the first time on a YouTube video I've actually pronounced that the correct way. But yeah, as always, guys, always take what resonates and leave everything else. And yeah, let's jump into it. Welcome, pile one. For those of you who chose the green agate, welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are existing subscriber, welcome back. So what are we going to do? Let's just straight up find out what's going on. What are people talking about when your name comes up? King of Swords. Yeah, we'll take these. Just make sure we're in frame. Yeah, so if you are new to the channel, I just prefer to shuffle on camera because you just never know. We'll get one more from this deck and then we'll grab some others. Shut my blinds because that was in my eye. Okay, what are people talking about when they talk about pile one? You must have some secret admirers, pile one. Okay, let's just start there. All right, so naturally with the King of Swords, when people are discussing you and in regards to them gossiping about you, okay, this is probably some very fairly good conversations happening about you regarding your intelligence mainly. So I would have to say that when people are gossiping about you, they would be saying things like, you have a higher IQ, you are very logical, you analyze things before you move forward with them, and other people may actually say that you never really did this in the past with your romantic relationships, but it's something that you do now. Like, you use a lot of logic when you pick your suitors, and if you are single, it's the whole reason why you are single is because you're yet to find a suitor, like a new love or a true love, who can either match you or be, more intelligent, more wiser. Not so much more intelligent, but more wiser, I feel, is the gossip on you and your love life. Because I feel heavily here, like, if people are gossiping about you, or when they do gossip about you, pile one, your love life seems to be a main topic here, as we can see with the Amira Love Oracle cards. But we'll just sort of tap on the tarot cards before moving into that. But also, if you have any like ill relationships, and what I mean by that, any people that you know that don't really like you, with the King of Swords, this card can represent a form of manipulation at times. Most of the kings can in the tarot. So I would have to say that at times, if anyone was speaking ill of you, they may actually say that you use your brains for evil, which might sound a bit cryptic in a way, or a bit unfair, but I think it's more about positive manipulation is what you guys probably use, pile one, but people around you are probably not smart enough to understand what that even means. But I do believe you guys know what I mean by that. And at times, these people, because you are so intelligent, I feel to make themselves feel better about when they compare their level of intelligence with yours, is that they would sometimes probably say things like they think they are above other people because you are that intelligent. But only take that as it resonates, pile one, because not everyone who's got a high IQ knows how to positive manipulate people, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we're all on a journey and we're trying to get somewhere. So moving on to the World card, okay? So this card would suggest that people find you quite worldly. So whether or not you've traveled a lot or you're worldly traveled, I feel like if people are talking about you as a person and why you are so unique, I do believe it's because you give this impression or you come across as somebody who's very culturally aware and who has traveled a lot. So if you haven't traveled a lot, pile number one, then people would be gossiping that you are very open to cultures, very open-minded when it comes to different ways of life, which is really positive. There's not many people out there who keep an open mind when it comes to other people's, other people's chosen paths, okay? But yeah, I would also say, like, here, and because of the Page of Cups as well, people would gossip in regards to about you being quite desirable. So what they're talking about, and I feel this is sort of connecting with the new love and the true love, like people actually gossip about your sexuality, like, and I mean in the sense of your attractiveness and how alluring you are in that sense. And I think with the World card, it's really driving the notion for me that people gossip about other people desiring you, like wanting to be with you, love suitors like coming towards you. But I feel with the King of Swords there, I feel like at times people are gossiping how you reject those people because of your high IQ and you're looking for a specific sort of person, okay? So if you are in a relationship, I would say people gossip at the fact that you are with a King of Swords sort of person. So yeah, take that as it resonates though. And then moving over to like the Page of Cups, I feel like this would be more gossip surrounding like when you're friends talk about you to other friends, and I don't mean just friends, I mean like your BFFs. So I feel like conversations surrounding here would be, you know, you're a very sensitive person, you have a very gentle nature, you're very emotional, you know, at times you're a bit of a daydreamer. And I also think, again, the Page of Cups also talks about secret admirers. So again, I feel like people are really talking about they even know people who are into you but won't like take action towards you, and they seem to be talking about that, or they're just aware that when they watch people engage in conversation with you, and we've got eight of wands here, which is means, for me, they gossip in regards to how you communicate. You communicate really well, and that would all tie back into that higher IQ, very intelligent conversations you deliver with people. And that's just with random strangers as well as, like, you know, family and friends. So then the Wheel of Fortune. I kind of feel like the gossip surrounding this, you know, this is the main destiny card in the tarot, and I really feel like people gossip about you, romantic suitors, right? So there's a lot of romantic energy surrounding your pile here, and I feel like when people meet you and then they go and tell their friends, oh, I've met this, like, you know, highly educated, intelligent individual, and I swear, like, it's destiny, like, we're meant to be. Like, that's how I feel like conversations take place after strangers meet you and they see you as a potential suitor. And you might be sitting here thinking, no fucking way. But it is true, and I assure you, when you are the package that you are, pile one, you will probably find people want to take action towards you, but they don't know how to communicate to somebody of your stature, okay? So yes, I'm going to gas you up. And that's what I want these readings to bring forth the truth, but at the same time to make you realize your worth as well. And, you know, we've got to look at negative aspects of potential gossip that can go on, as we do with King of Swords. But so other things with the Wheel of Fortune that sort of come to mind. People may actually gossip like if you display you have a fair amount of money, or you have money pile one, people may actually gossip that you may have won money, or you've won the lotto before and you've never told anyone, and that's why you're able to live the lifestyle that you live. And if that's not sort of resonating, then you may be known for gambling, right? So people gossip about the fact that you gamble, which may come as a surprise to a lot of people who find this out. But they gossip in regards to how successful you are at winning in gambling, okay? So there's conversations there going on about you at this point in time. So when we move to the Seven of Pentacles, this would sort of tell me again, bring up your money and your success with money. And that's sort of why I kind of felt that connection with the Wheel of Fortune. But I feel like you've had a lot of long-term success when it comes to whether or not it's your education, or whether or not it's what you're putting into practice now in order to achieve a more successful future. So some of you, you know, maybe going back to school, people are sort of gossiping about that. And if they're not gossiping about that per se, then they're talking about how you've gone back to school after going to school with you. So this is probably more gossip surrounding people who know you from childhood. And I just feel like with this, with the Seven of Pentacles, it's more about the gossip surrounding, I guess, how you've invested time in enhancing your skill sets in whatever that may be, and how that's actually showed a very positive result. Okay. And then, as I mentioned with the Eight of Wands, this is definitely driving your communication skill set, and also your voice, your tone of voice as well is sort of jumping out at me at the moment, in the fact that there's something very seductive. Like, I look at the woman on this card and she's got sexy legs, she's got on point heels, she looks like a woman in her power, and she's heading somewhere. She's climbing sand dunes in heels, right? Like, who can do that? You can do that, can't you, pile on? So I just feel like with this card, people gossip in the fact that you always sort of look like you're on a mission to go somewhere. Like you're a person who knows what they want. You're a person who is always busy as well. Like you're fast moving. You've always got somewhere to be. And I feel like this is what sort of maybe holds back people coming towards you. So not only your intelligence, but also the fact that you always look busy. Okay, and naturally when people always look too busy, people aren't going to take action towards you because they will instantly already be in their mindset thinking that you're going to reject them. And people will not take action towards somebody they think are going to get rejected. Like they literally won't. Most people would rather die, let's be honest. That's probably a bit extreme, but hopefully you know what I'm putting up there. Picking up and putting down. So, moving on to the Amira's Love Oracle cards, I just feel, yeah, like your looks get definitely discussed. So that's sort of what I'm picking up with the blonde female. I feel like you guys have very like piercing blue eyes, or you have like, there's something about your eyes that really captivate people, and I feel like this will generally be a conversation topic. And I wouldn't be surprised if you scare people because your eyes are very intimidating, is what I'm sort of picking up with that. But I do believe people discuss or gossip about your hair, whatever color it is, your lips, your makeup, your eyebrows as well here, even your dress sense, you know, seems to be a conversation topic here as well. I do think with new love, like people gossip in regards to whether or not you have any romantic suitors happening in your life. But I actually think they also, in contrast to that conversation, they also talk about how you're waiting for a true love, right? That you're waiting to find an honest connection, a pure love. And I do hear like people laugh in that sense because, you know, whether or not it's because they're in unhealthy relationships or, you know, they settled, but it's like they don't believe in true love or a pure love. So they sort of have a bit of a negative spin to that conversation when they talk about you. And then with the wallflower, limited potential is probably something that sort of draws me to the most. And I feel like it's more aligned to the whole true love thing. Like people sort of gossip in the fact that you will have limited potential in finding true love because you are only looking for a certain type. And to be honest, I don't think those people are educated enough to understand how intelligent that is to be that way. But yeah, in regards to the shyness and withholding to that card, I don't really feel like you come across as a shy person. I think you just are very busy doing you and busy doing your things. So people may assume or make conversation that you're shy, but actually I feel like you are just withholding because you're busy and you know what you're actually looking for. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I really hope that's giving you some insight in regards to conversations coming or being talked about you at this time. But let me know down in the comment section if, you know, you were able to relate to this information. And as I said in the intro, and as I will always say for the rest of my life, we do never care what other people are thinking or assuming about us, but it's always fun to know. So yeah, have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile 2, or those who picked this beautiful sodalite crystal, welcome to your reading. Okay, so if you missed the intro, welcome. Don't forget to hit subscribe or hit the like button so others can see this video. Actually, didn't even say that in the intro, but YOLO. What I did say was only take what resonates in this reading, and always remember we never care what other people are thinking. It's always just fun to find out you know, their level of, it's humorous really at times, depending what they are thinking. But yeah, if it doesn't feel like your pile, definitely pick another one or just click off the video. So what's the gossip on pile number 2? What do people talk about when their name comes up? I don't think they have a lot to say, right? Kind of feel like when your name comes up, people don't tend to say anything negative or go into a deep conversation about you, pile 2, because with that 4 of Cups here, I kind of get the sense like 4 of Cups can talk about boredom. So I feel at times like people think that you're just bored all the time, and you know, and because of that, they would take that personally, if that makes sense. So I don't know if this is work related. Like I kind of feel like this has something to do with work people, because that's just the energy I'm picking up. But I feel like if you go into a conversation with work people, like you keep it pretty, what's the word? I feel like saying average, but mediocre. Like the conversations, I kind of feel like with the Queen of Wands here and the Knight of Pentacles here, this screams to me like other conversations that happen about you is you're as sexy as fuck. You're very grounded, you're very well established, you're a very patient person. But I feel with that 4 of Cups, people, that 4 of Cups and that sense of boredom and stuff, people are fully aware of this conversation that goes on about you. But I feel because you are that, people may gossip about you that you find the average Tom, Dick or Harry people very boring. Like you're a very eccentric individual is what I'm kind of picking up here. So I'm just going to grab a few more cards and then I'll jump into it, because it's hard to connect with energy and shuffle at the same time. Well, it's not hard, it's just I sound more professional. Maybe you're also very professional. I'm not happy with that shuffle. All right, we've got the Knight of Cups. And we'll want one more. 7 of Wands. Let's see how that frame is. What do people gossip about when they gossip about pile 2? Okay, we have a lot of people here. So I don't know if this means, this could indicate that there are a lot of people gossiping about you, your friends gossip about you, people gossip that you have a lot of friends. Got one more. I've got some passion. Maybe you guys don't want children. That's also a conversation that happens, but all right, so yeah, as I sort of mentioned with the 4 of Cups, there is a conversation that happens about you that you seem just very disinterested, whether or not you're disinterested at work or you find the people you work with really boring. There's some kind of conversation going on about you about that. Now with the Queen of Wands, you know, all the queens have well, not really. I wouldn't never say that the Queen of Swords sits among like spiritually tuned sort of energy, but Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands 100% you know, come across as very like spiritually connected individuals. But I feel like Queen of Cups is more of a intuitive, like Queen of Cups will forgive people for doing the wrong thing, where I feel like a Queen of Wands would be more inclined to, that fire and that passion within, just to sort of cut it off in a way like a Queen of Swords would cut something off. So I kind of feel the conversation happening there about you is that within itself is that things, you can see right through people. People would, if people try and lie to you, you will identify that and you'll cut them off. Like, that's a conversation that's definitely being discussed about you right now with the Queen of Wands energy there. I'd also feel like your appearance is also a conversation topic as well at this time. So whether or not you guys are working out more, or you change something about how you wear your makeup or your hair, this is something like I feel whether it's the opposite sex or people who you, flirt with are also talking about is your sexuality is also another conversation piece being discussed this week. But yeah, take that as it resonates. I feel like your spirituality as well at times is also, at times, I feel like it's heavily being discussed at the moment with that awakening card. Like, that's definitely screaming that people just are talking about how awoke you are, and because you are so awoken, I would say this is people that you may not even know. Like, so if you have an online platform or anything like that, then I would say this is gossip more happening with people who may be trying to send evil eye to you. Maybe you're trying to mess with your beauty or maybe mess with your life as well. And I feel like what they're sort of gossiping at the moment is whether or not you think you're super awoken, or the fact that you are so awoken that you're so spiritually protected, and anything that they're trying to do towards you is only coming back onto them very quickly, is another sort of message coming through here, which is a bit shit because people shouldn't try and do that, but this energy has come up before in other readings. So then in regards to the Knight of Pentacles, right, so this would be conversation in regards to how patient you are. You're very persistent as well, okay, but your persistence isn't irrational, it's very slow moving. Like, people would talk about the fact that although you're very patient, although you're very persistent, you don't try and rush things. You'll happily sit around and wait until the right time, or when whatever you're waiting for comes into fruition. I would say people are also talking about how hardworking you are. So if you've not only got a day job and you've also got side hustles or hobbies and stuff, people are also gossiping about that. And I actually feel like a lot of people get mind blown when they learn more about you, but I feel like they get more mind blown to learn that you are spiritually awoken, because I don't think you come across as somebody who declares their spirituality. Like, I feel this comes back down to the way you dress, pile too. Like, I think people would be quite surprised to learn that you're into tarot, or you're into making candles or painting like spiritual objects. I'm not sure, but I'm picking up a really creative energy here. So whatever sort of side hobby you have, when people learn about that through conversation, they're very mind blown about it, is what I'm feeling with those few cards. So Knight of Cups, so heading into the romance conversations that are taking place about you, and this would suggest that gossip surrounding you at this point in time is that you're quite charming. Maybe there is also some gossip that you have met your Prince Charming as well for some of you. But on a negative aspect of this card, some people may be discussing at the moment that you may wear rose-colored glasses at times, and that is why you have a tendency to not see through people's romantic intentions straight away. So that message isn't for everyone. It's just for, I feel like, a couple of you. But, you know, this card also talks about loving intentions as well, and somebody looking for a trustworthy partner or is with a trustworthy partner. So take that as it resonates. So if you are in a relationship, that would be the gossip surrounding your person. And if you are single, the gossip there would be the fact that you are looking for a very loving, trustworthy partner, and that's why you are single, because you're patiently waiting. With the Seven of Wands here, like, I guess I'm feeling a bit more called to look at this card from more of a negative, light, and more so in the sense that you may be quick to defend your romantic suitors when people call them out for their bad behavior. So I feel like because you are spiritually connected, you need to connect with your intuition before you make up your mind. So what I feel like the conversation around that Seven of Wands is like, people are gossiping at the moment. Like, there's no point telling you such and such is good for you or not, because you're spiritually connected. You have to figure that out for yourself. Like, your own intuition has to align with that energy. You can't just go and like take someone else's word for it. So I would have to say that's more surrounding like friends, having something to say about that. But, you know, take that as it resonates, and only you're going to know if that does correlate with how you are with romantic partners. So we've got courting man here in young male. So I kind of feel like if you are a male, people are sort of gossiping at the fact that you are trying to court younger people, maybe younger males or mature women. You know, you could be bisexual in this group as well, is what I'm kind of picking up here. But, you know, take them, as I always say, take the messages that relate to you. And maybe you are trying to find a courting man, a man who knows how to court a woman, if you are a woman watching this audience, and that is a conversation sort of happening about you. I do feel like this could also be a conversation happening with people who are thinking about courting you, right? Some people are sort of discussing or gossiping at the fact that you only like to be with younger people. But then other people may be gossiping at the fact that you only want to be with older people. So I feel like there's a mixed bunch of people sort of talking about your dating life. And I do feel like most of you watching this pile are single, because there are so many people on here. I think you've got mix. I feel like you might have one group of people you talk about where you only want to be with a mature person, and then maybe like your really close girlfriends or your guy friends, you're like, oh, I dated like this person who was 10, 15 years younger. So like, I kind of feel like there's mixed conversations going on about how you only want to date younger people or older people, but with different groups of people, if that makes sense. I feel like with your friendships here, people gossip about how many friends you have, or how many friends you don't have, okay? But either way, I feel with the friendship card here is that I'm kind of picking up like people gossip at the fact that it's hard to make friends with you, and that you already have like a selection of very different friends. So you're not really out there looking to network with new people. You're happy to maybe make acquaintances, but to looking for lifelong friends, I feel like new people who enter your life pile too, that's the kind of gossip or the vibe that they're picking up from you. And then I feel with this dark male, again, it's a combination or a link with what I sort of said with the courting man, young male, mature woman, dark male. I think people could be gossiping at the fact that you may have multiple friends with benefits at the moment as well, or people are assuming that, okay? They could actually be assuming that when you talk about hanging out with your friends are people you sleep with. That's also another energy I'm sort of picking up here, and that's hilarious, right? Like, let these people eat their cake, pile two. It doesn't really matter. I actually feel like with the chemistry and the passionate feeling, like a lot of people who gossip about you have very strong feelings towards you as well. They find you very alluring. Again, we had the Queen of Wands here on the table. So I just think you're a very unique individual, and that's why there is so many random conversations sort of happening about you when your name comes up. But I think overall it's pretty positive. Like, you don't really have, there's no one really saying anything. And look, if people are sort of talking smack about say if you do have multiple people going on at once, pile two, there's nothing wrong with that. If anyone does have a problem with that, it's only because they're jealous. They're probably in a marriage which is boring, and they settled or whatever. That's the only reason why I think people like that actually put shit on others for doing whatever they choose to do romantically. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this and it's put a smile on your face, and I will see you all next week. Bye. Hey pile 3, and welcome to your reading, those who chose the pink agate. So what's the gossip on you this week, or at this time? All right. What are people talking about when pile 3 comes up in conversation? We had 4 of Cups come out for the second pile. Whoa, whoa. And 10 of Cups went on the ground. Get one more. What do people talk about when they talk about pile 3? Okay, so straight up with the 4 of Pentacles, people discuss how you don't like to share anything about your life is what I'm kind of picking up with that. Like, I'm also picking up a very emotional vibe as well. Like, people would most likely gossip, or what they're gossiping at the moment is you're not sharing a lot about your life with certain people at the moment, and that's a conversation that's happening maybe at work, but maybe at home as well. And I feel like with the Knight of Wands there, I feel like it's more about that. You're currently not talking about, or you could be seeing somebody at this moment or sleeping with somebody at this moment, and you're not sharing it, and people are gossiping about, like, who are you sleeping with? And they assume because you're either in like this very happy state of mind with the 10 of Cups here, that you seem to, like, it's like you have this energy about you that you are seeing somebody, but you're not telling anyone who you're seeing. I don't know, that's going to be a message for somebody. Like, you're not sharing information is what I'm really picking up with that. I've never really looked at that camel in the 4 of Pentacles card either, but even with that there, it's just sort of like you're sort of giving people sort of talking about how distant you are at this point in time. Like, maybe you were really talkative about passionate activities you're getting involved in, all of a sudden you're not sharing that, which is making them think that you may have met somebody quite serious. But yeah, with the camel as well, I also think about travel as well. And because the travel card is here, I kind of feel like people are talking about, if you're traveling to and from somewhere, again, they're gossiping about in regards to who you're traveling to go and see. Like, some people are gossiping at the fact that you're traveling to see family. Other people are gossiping at the fact that you are traveling to see a lover. Aren't they nosy, pile number 3? So anyway, moving on. Another aspect of that Knight of Wands, before I moved on to the Hanged Muse, I just feel like people sort of gossip in, some people may be gossiping at the moment that you may give off like a F-boy, F-girl kind of vibe. That's definitely, that card represents that for me. But like, you're a real fiery, passionate, very sexual individual is some side serving of gossip going on around, surrounding that card anyway. So with the Hangman, the energy I'm sort of picking up with this is, if you have been fighting an illness or anything, there could be some gossip around that. But I'm also being drawn to that eye there, like somebody's actually watching you. Like, I don't know if there's gossip around somebody watching you, somebody's got their eye on you. I also kind of look at that image as like, I know it's not a phone, but it kind of looks like somebody could be, you know, tracking your phone, which is weird. It could be a parent, you know, depending how old you are, but it could be a romantic lover. But I also feel like people are gossiping at the fact like you're just hanging around. Like, maybe at this point in time you don't really have a sort of clear direction or a clear path in regards to what you want to do with work or your career, and you're just sort of like hanging around, wasting time. You know, and somebody seems to be very interested in why you are just hanging around and not taking action towards, you know, maybe career, but it could be love as well. Maybe, I don't know, I kind of get stalker vibes from that pile 3, and I don't want to like frighten anyone, but just be mindful. Like, if you feel like you have somebody watching you, people are gossiping because they know somebody's watching you. So that's weird. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments why that's coming through. Yeah, I just feel like, yeah, somebody is watching or gossiping about like how you're just hanging around. Like, you're not really doing anything at this point in time. There's some sort of uncertainty about you, or you're in a current transition at the moment, stagnation, maybe with work. Like, yeah, there's definitely that aspect, and also your health. So if you've just gone through like a health scare or something, there could be a conversation happening about that. So moving on with the 6 of Pentacles, again, this is actually quite a positive card in the sense of gossip. You know, people talk about how generous you are, whether you're generous with money or generous with presents or generous with your time, or how much you'll go out of your way to support people. Like, there's a very balanced energy about you, and I do believe people talk about this, like they find you very well balanced. And that could be because you like to just hang around, pile number 3. It could be just because you're quite chilled out. So people just think you're doing nothing. But yeah, I feel like there's some gossip surrounding like maybe you gifting somebody something. It could have been a large gift for some of you, but yeah, there's definitely some conversation in regards to you giving people something that may have been a bit larger than what you had to give. So if it was money, you may have given too much money, or if it was a present, you didn't have to give the size of present. There just seems to be a conversation about that. So with the 10 of Cups, I feel like there's some gossip. If you've got a family, there's some gossiping going around your family. If you're married, there's some gossiping happening around marriage. But not in a negative sense. I think it's more about how some of you have got your fairy tale ending, and because you've got that fairy tale ending, there is some gossip about that. And I kind of am looking at the evil eye in my room at the moment, and I'm just sort of, that's really drawing me that, you know, people could be gossiping about your marriage solely on the basis because they are jealous, okay? Now, if you're not married, the 10 of Cups would sort of depict to me that it could be just talking about you having a very happy home, or you're happy in your home as well. Or it could also be talking about, I guess, maybe trying a little bit too hard to achieve a dream for some of you. Like some people might be assuming that, well, not assuming, gossiping at the fact that you're trying too hard to achieve something that isn't possible, and that could be a marriage with somebody, but take that as it resonates. It's not going to be for everyone. And then that Hermit card, obviously, the Hermit is a card about solitude, loneliness, but it's also can be about betrayal and dishonesty as well. So treason even. But I kind of feel like if anyone has been dishonest to you or has betrayed you in any way, I would have to say there's some gossip surrounding that. There could also be some gossip surrounding the fact that somebody is going to betray you or be dishonest with you. So keep an open mind to that as well, guys. Given like the intention of this reading is what conversations are happening about you at this point in time. So if that's sort of not resonating in the sense, and you feel pretty confident that no one could be betraying you at this time or being dishonest, then I guess there's conversations about you being like, you know, a lone wolf, you sort of focusing on your own. And I feel like that kind of ties back in with that hang muse energy that was picking up, like just sort of hanging around. You may not be just hanging out with anyone, you're just sort of spending that time on your own. Which, you know, that sounds like some self-healing is going on, which is fantastic. So we kind of tapped into that travel card, but I kind of feel like with the fair male and the brunette male, I don't know if these are the individuals sort of gossiping about you, and this is to sort of give you an indication. Like if you have any family members in your family who have brown hair or fair skin and look like these individuals, I kind of feel confident in saying these are the main two people sort of chatting about you at this time. But these cards are to represent what they're actually gossiping about. So the eyes here is something that's really standing out for me, and I feel like the message sort of coming through here is you have a very intense focused look about you, is but it's like when I feel like the conversation that's happening about you is that people know when your thoughts of them change because something about your face changes. So you might have one of those faces where you can't hide your facial expressions. So when you hear something, like your eyes light up. So I feel like the gossip or the conversation happening about you is you can't tell. You can always tell what pile 3 is thinking because like of their eyes, you can see it in their eyes. So just be mindful, maybe wear sunglasses more around people you don't know, pile 3, and then that way it's sort of poker face, you know. But there's also something about skin here, whether or not you guys have very nice skin or you look after your skin. I feel like there's a conversation happening about your skin. Maybe you guys have gone and had injectables, so you're looking much younger than what you should for your age is another thing coming through. But yeah, there's conversations being had about your physical features and your facial expressions as well. So with family here, yeah, they look like a really young family, don't they? Maybe there's some gossip about, you know, and with the 10 of Cups there as well, we were talking about that family aspect of conversation happening as well. And I kind of feel like with the family card here is people are gossiping about your family, and I feel like it's in a positive light. I feel like people gossip that you've got it all. Like if you've got a family, pile 3, that's what they're gossiping. If you've yet to have created your own family yet, pile 3, people are gossiping at the fact that you will have that ultimate family, that white picket fence, a very traditional kind of family life is what people are gossiping about you at the moment. Maybe you've come from a very traditional upbringing as well. Now with the Ice Queen here, some of you have either been divorced and that's a conversation happening, or people are gossiping at the fact that maybe you've never shared the fact that you're divorced because of like the Four of Pentacles and what we're discussing there. But people may be gossiping that you have been divorced before, but you don't actually talk about that. I'm also picking up that discernment look, like, the discernment word, that you use a lot of discernment before you take action towards people, or before you allow somebody into your life, is sort of what I'm picking up with that. I also think you can be kind of, I think people are also talking about you can be kind of icy cold with your words at times, and you may have learnt this from your mother, okay? So take that as it resonates. And then the last thing, and what we'll wrap up here, pile 3, is your spiritual growth. So a lot of conversations may happen about how you're learning about spirituality, or how to, feed your soul, or you're on some kind of spiritual journey. And that's why you are spending, and I think it's quite, I only looked at this now, but to have spiritual growth underneath the Hermit card says a lot, I think. So there's a strong conversation happening about your spirituality and why you spend a lot of time alone. It could be because you are trying to focus on, evolving as an individual. But yeah, a lot of messages there, and they sort of going to be unique for everyone and how you perceive them. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that gassed you up a little bit or a lot. And I'll see you all next time. Bye. Hey, Pile 4 and those who pick the Aventurine. Crystal, welcome to your reading. So let's find out what the gossip is on you. What are people talking about you currently at this point in time? Your love life. Maybe walking away from a lover. I'm just going to pull the cards, and then we'll jump into it. Ugh. Look, I'm connecting with your pile very differently to the other piles, but I'm gonna it's going to be a message for somebody, because I feel like there is a strong conversation happening at the moment for anyone who's either going through a divorce, or who's just recently found out your person has cheated on you. Maybe you cheated on somebody, but there has been a massive breakup in regards to soulmates here. Or a marriage has definitely been, children are possibly involved. There's a conversation happening about a relationship that ended pretty hectically, pile number 4. So if that doesn't sound like your situation, probably click off, pick a different pile, because I just feel like this reading's probably going to go a little bit differently than the other ones. But yeah, there's a strong conversation happening about you and an ending of a relationship and a marriage specifically. And if that's sort of not resonating, I'll still engage, and you still feel adamant this is your pile, I'll still engage in the cards the way I did with the other piles. But yeah, for those of you who are going through a divorce, your mother could be the main person having this conversation, generally worried about your well-being, is what's coming through here. People are spying on you to make sure you are okay. So if that sounds like your story, you have a lot of people caring for you who want to nurture you at this time, pile 4, and let them help you if you are have had to hit rock bottom, but that message isn't, let your friends help you, is what I'm kind of picking up with that. But that message isn't going to be for everyone. So I will continue on, and I will connect with the this pile the way I did with the others. So please show me other information that pile 4's people in their life are talking about. No more cards want to come out. It's really weird. Okay, I'll accept that. Okay. So, yeah, look, I feel like there's conversations, if you've gone through a divorce, been pretty hectic, or some of you are already moving on. There's already new love, you're already open to new relationships, nothing too hectic, pretty casual, no commitment. That's conversation happening about some of you right now, okay? But for others of you where that's sort of not really aligning with your situation, I think with the Two of Cups here, there's a conversation about a romantic connection you are currently involved in. And if you're not involved in a union at this point in time, it's more about people are talking about a romantic connection that you've walked away from. It's a hot topic either way. And the other aspect of that conversation is why you've walked away. With the Seven of Swords here, like, you know, it's a given in the sense that Seven of Swords doesn't matter how you really look at it. It's a card that represents, it is the card in the deck that represents lies, deception, arguments, you know, a lot of dishonesty around connection. And the fact that it's sitting next to the Eight of Cups is only telling me maybe after you walked away from this relationship, did you only then find out about the lies and deception? That's the gossip on you at this point in time, which is really shit. And I hope this is not your pile and you're only listening to this because I don't know why. Maybe you'll just click off and I'll just waste my time right now. But anyway, for those who are going through this, we'll keep going. But yeah, so there's some conversation in regards to that pile 4. So if you've come out of a marriage, which is why I'm saying that, is like the Justice card does represent a marriage. Okay, it talks about a commitment surrounding a contract. So again, that's why I think marriage. But yeah, I just feel like if you're going through a court case at the moment, like a divorce, this is also getting discussed. Contracts may be breached as well if you're going through any sort of like ABOs or anything like that. I'm not sure why that's coming through. People are also gossiping about that. But your level of commitment as well seems to be on the tip of everyone's tongue as well. Like, you know, what you persevered with this conversation with this relationship is that you put up with a lot of shit. And I feel like before you walked away is another conversation sort of happening, like, and that's, I think, because what people are saying is because you looked at this individual as your true love, as your soulmate as well, and that is why you continued. I kind of feel with that Justice card though, other people are sort of talking about how you may have lost yourself, but you found yourself again after walking away and actually finding out the truth of the matter and what this person actually was doing, you know, in the connection or behind your back. You know, and I feel like people are also gossiping in how, or discussing like how this is going to change you forever and how you view the world. Now with the Empress card there, this would obviously indicate that some people could be gossiping that you are pregnant, okay? Other people could be gossiping at the fact that, you know, this relationship or marriage broke down because of fertility issues as well. But please take that as it resonates. And if you are a person who's struggling with fertility issues, I'm very, very sorry about that. You know, I'm sending much love and light to you. But yeah, there just seems some other gossip maybe surrounding about your financial abundance as well. Like if that sort of like the storyline isn't really, you know, reflecting you, I would have to say just be mindful. There might be dishonest people around you because of your financial abundance, and that could be some conversations happening about you in regards to the Empress card. And then, yeah, finally with that Page of Swords card, again, you know, this is a card that talks about gossip and people spying in order to have gossip, so you may actually, what I'm picking out is like, people are gossiping about people spying on you. And I think this came up in another pile before, but be mindful of that. So people are spying on you, maybe indirectly, maybe having conversations with you. People could also be gossiping with your mother, which is a form of spying as well. Okay, so just I'm flagging that for somebody. I'm not trying to create any fear or anything, but some people will converse or communicate with other people to get gossip, to get information. So just this won't be for everyone. Somebody is talking to your mum, and I don't think you would even know that they would be talking to your mum to finding out information about you. Okay, so just bear that in mind. If you already know about this, let me know down in the comments so I don't feel like I'm being a weirdo right now. But yeah, I feel like there is a sense of cleverness happening in regards to getting information about you. Okay, pile number 4. I feel like people are having to work really hard to get the gossip on you as well. So take that as it resonates. And then, yeah, in regards to this new love, I feel like we already touched on this, but I don't know, for some of you, there could be an unknown person who's coming towards you, and there is some gossip about that. But I feel because if this storyline is aligning with you, I think there's some gossip in the fact that you would only be open to an open relationship with no commitment, very casual. Relationship is something that you would be open to if new love was to walk in the door, and that seems to be a conversation. This must be like family talking about you or really close friends. Like, I don't feel like the people gossiping here, pile number 4, are people who you work with or people that just meet you in a cafe shop or something like that. I feel like these people generally you've had a long relationship with, so like siblings, parents, things like that. With the Empress card there, like it could state that your mum is the one gossiping about you to other people about this marriage breakdown or relationship breakdown, which is, gotta love our mums being trumpets. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there because I did try and get more cards for you, but nothing was coming through. So I feel like this pile is specifically targeted to just a couple of the audience, because that can happen, and it has happened many of times. The message has only been for specifically one person who picked the pile. And I know that because they contact me and tell me. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm sending you much love and light at this time, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.